Batman v Superman, the movie of the year, the movie of the century, the movie! Hey guys, I wasn't going to make this video, but seeing as how I saw it last week, and how I made my thoughts on Batman v Superman video, I decided to give this to you guys, to see if my predictions were right, and to see how good this movie is. I want to try something different, mix up this video, because my reviews are pretty long, and this is actually the first standalone review video in a long while. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it down into four different categories. 1 is the opening statement, 2 is the pros, 3 is the cons, and 4 is the final thoughts. Now let's get on with the opening statement. Batman v Superman. It was directed by, or it is directed by Zack Snyder. It stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Lawrence Fishburne, Holly Hunter, Jesse Eisenberg, and Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, however you say her name. So this movie, it is about Batman and Superman wanting to fight each other. They want to throw it down because, you know, Man of Steel happened. A lot of chaos happened from that. And Superman wants, I don't know what the heck he wants, but Batman, he is strolling up into town. He sees that Superman has to go because he's a god, or is viewed as a god. And he feels like he could take Metropolis and Gotham down, maybe in the world if he turned evil. So he wants to seek him out, take him down, stop him from doing any more damage like he did in Man of Steel. A lot of people died from that movie at the end, and he wants to avenge those deaths. And then we just have, you know, Jesse Eisenberg, he has his thing, and Holly Hunter has her thing, Lois Lane has her thing, and yeah. So let's get into the pros of this movie. I will say that Ben Affleck was better than I expected. I stated in my thoughts video that he looked pretty cool as Batman, even though the Batman costume was a bit But I said as Bruce Wayne was, I don't know what was going on there. It looked it looked okay. But after watching this, Ben Affleck was the best part of this movie. His Batman was great, phenomenal. His costume, I'm still not into it too much. The cloth one, not the stone one, the huge bulky one, because that was really cool. Cloth one, I don't know, the emblem's a little bit too big for me, but Ben Affleck was the best part of this movie. All of his parts, most of them, were really good, and they just really fleshed out his character well. I just thought he was the best part of this movie, and every single time that he was on the screen, it was pretty cool. Another pro I have is Zack Snyder's cinematography, his action scenes, and the visuals. This movie was visually good. I really liked watching it. I liked seeing the action unfold, even though some of it made no sense, but I really liked watching this, like viewing it, the visuals, the way it looked good. I mean, people will argue that it could be a bit dark, depressing, rainy, and whatnot, but, you know, that's the way this movie franchise wants to go, and it's definitely a complete 180 from Marvel in terms of scope and how it looks. But I'm fine with it. I will say that I couldn't tell the difference between Metropolis or Gotham in this whole movie. I don't even know which one was which or how they would even jump from one or the other. I really don't know where our heroes were the whole time. But it looked visually good. Alfred was good. Gal Gadot was good for her very short time, even though it felt a little crammed in. She did well for what she had. And that ends the pros, guys. That is pretty much it for the pros. I didn't really talk more about the action because there's not much to say. That Batman and Superman fought. That was cool for 8 minutes, and then, you know, they fought Doomsday. But let's get on to the cons. Everything else, and the huge big headliner here for the cons of what really is the problem with it is the story. The story is a mess. How is it a mess? Well, let me state for one that this movie has several plot holes in it. It is completely loose, and it felt like so many movies sewn into one that I really couldn't focus on a single thing. You had cleanup for Man of Steel. They had all these court hearings, all these things going on, trying to just resolve what happened in Man of Steel. Why you got that going on? You got Batman, his inner conflict with Superman, why he views him as this guy, huge god, and how he could take out the world. He wants to get rid of him. Then you have Jesse Eisenberg, his whole conflict with Superman as well. We had to focus on that at the same time. He's going around and, woo, oh, you not want to pick a fight with this guy. That guy. Ugh. Then you got Lois Lane doing an investigation that makes no sense. It really doesn't have anything to do with the story. Well, I guess it does, but the thing is, we know what's going on the whole time. We know the outcome of her investigation, and it's just... Then you have the stupid, shoehorned Justice League crap inside, where they just, stuffed it right in, and they just want me to just think that this all works together, that it all blends together, but it really doesn't. It feels like they're just trying to jumpstart a new film series without even trying to make this a standalone movie. And then the last thing that we have is the Doomsday thing at the end. Yeah. This isn't really a spoiler with Doomsday because it kind of spoiled it for you in the second trailer. And if you've seen the second trailer, well, you've seen Batman v Superman pretty much. More into the story. The way we look at this movie, the way we pick it apart, it's that you have the first half of this 2-hour and 30-minute adventure where a lot of court cases happen, a lot of dialogue, a lot of setup, a lot of stuff going on here. It's pretty boring. Other than the Batman stuff, it gets pretty boring. Especially because the court cases, I don't know. They're cool to be there, but if they were a little bit stronger in dialogue and it actually compelled me to watch the things, I would be more involved in it. But that was just, it felt kind of like filler in a way. The second half just takes all that you were watching and throws it out the window with all the shoehorn Justice League stuff I talked about and the Doomsday stuff. All of this gets scrapped away just so we could have a glimpse at a Justice League fight or a pre-Justice League fight. The whole build-up was pointless. It was all meaningless, and it really had nothing to do with the ending. The ending felt like a completely different movie from what we were watching in the first half. I will say the first half was better than the second half, because the second half, I could just feel myself sinking lower and lower into my seat as I watched in horror at how the weight of this film was just buckling under and it couldn't hold itself up. More cons. Characters. Superman, the worst character of this movie. Well, not the worst character, but definitely an awful character. I said before in my thoughts video that he's my second favorite DC character. Well, he's a jerk, and he's not that well developed in this movie. I thought he would be at least, we get more information from this guy. We get more emotion from him because we got a very underwhelming performance in Man of Steel, but no, we didn't. We didn't learn really anything about this guy. We don't even know why he even fought Batman. There was no purpose for him to fight Batman the whole thing, except for just before the fight happened. He was given a motivation to fight him. And even then, if you watch this movie, which I don't want to spoil anything, but this whole motivation to fighting sucked. It was pointless. It was even a plot hole. It made no sense. He didn't really even have to fight Batman, just to tell you this. Everything that happened with Superman, and it didn't even feel like Batman v Superman. It felt like Batman with the cameo of Superman. Every time Superman got screen time, it was probably only lasted around 2 minutes. And all those times, it was just him reacting to somebody. You'd look at them like, or you got this one. Or just wait, this is the best one. That's all you got out of him. Maybe he'll cry, or tear up a little bit or maybe get a little angry, but yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for Superman. Very dull, boring, and I don't like their interpretation of him. You know who else is dull, boring, and uninteresting? Lois Lane. I really don't like her, and I think she's the worst character of this entire franchise. Every single time she comes on the screen, I want them to just turn away because she is so uninteresting. They haven't developed her right. She's not even the right actress to portray her. Amy Adams is dismal in her performance. It doesn't work. She doesn't feel like Lois Lane. And they gave her more role in Superman, and her role was pointless. It was unnecessary. It wasn't even needed in there. Next, you have Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, which was complete garbage. I don't know who the heck likes it. I mean, have any of them read a comic book? Because Lex Luthor, he's supposed to be a strong, menacing businessman. Sure, the hair's there. You can have hair. Because he did at one point. But he wasn't a crazy psycho. I mean, the guy felt like Nicolas Cage on drugs. And I like Nicolas Cage, but this is Lex Luthor we're talking about. And I heard that Bryan Cranston was in talks for the role. Why the heck would Zack Snyder go along with Jesse Eisenberg? It makes no sense. You got Bryan Cranston, who looks like he could be a good Lex Luthor. Then you got Jesse Eisenberg. Maybe they want a little age thing, make him match a little bit. But look at Ben Affleck. He's like 10 years older than Henry Cavill. And the other ones, you got Lawrence Fishburne. Okay. You got Holly Hunter. I guess she had a good role. I don't know. That's just... Final thoughts. Don't see this movie in theaters. Wait till it comes out on rental. There was a lot of things in this movie that were unenjoyable for me. Because all the while, I was looking at it and I say, wait, what's going on there? Why is this happening? That makes no sense. Why are you doing that? There was a lot of times where this happened. And it made me so upset at this movie. And I couldn't even enjoy it for a lot of times. There were some parts where I was having a good time. Maybe Batman. Maybe a lot of his stuff. Maybe whenever the fight between him and Superman, even though the whole fight was pointless, but there are probably only a few scattered places where I actually thought this movie was enjoyable. The rest was just, it was just a clutter mess. It was like I was just forcing myself through this just so I could review it. That's what this experience felt like. And I only paid 50 cents for my ticket. I got a free coupon thing, and I honestly wouldn't have paid even more than that. I think 50 cents will do it. Any random thoughts? I would go into certain plot holes, but that is just all spoiler stuff, which I don't want to go into detail. I mean, it's pointless to even talk about it right now. One thing I want to state, though, is Batman does kill a lot of people in this movie for reasons I don't know. They don't really explain it. He'll start shooting people, breaking people's necks, blowing people up. There's a scene where it was a Batmobile chase where he hooked his Batmobile to another car and drove around with it. And while it's like flipping and like ragdolling all over the place, there's people inside this Batman. Why the heck are you doing this? It's a little overkill, don't you think? Then he just slams into our car, blows up, and then, whoa, cool, Batman. He's fighting people. Wait a minute, is he killing them? Oh no, what? That's how I felt. My jaw dropped at how insane this movie would be. That's my review for Batman v Superman. The score I give it is 69%, which equals a D+, which equals burnt popcorn. And just so you all know, in terms of my rating system, 72% or below is burnt popcorn, 73% above is juicy popcorn. I want to just make that clear instead of just making a whole different video for it. But thank you guys for watching this. Don't see this in theaters, and just rent it if you want to see it. Wait till it comes out. It'll definitely be a waste of your time. Thanks for watching.